Japanese Cheetos, and I'm going to be talking about some videos. I'm going to be doing more video reviews and stuff like that soon. Alright, like, subscribe. Onegaishimasu. Alright, let's see how these taste. Smell like Cheetos. Do not eat these. Wait a minute. I want to give us a chance. Oshikanai, yo. No. Just no. Terrible. These are not good. These are just terrible. Why would you eat these? Why would you make these? Why would you do this? As you know, there's an incident in Ferguson that happened with the shooting of an unarmed teenager named Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. What I have to say about this is that it's a tragedy, first of all. A young man was killed. He didn't have to be killed. I believe that police officers are trained people who have the ability to take out an individual without using lethal force. They should be able to do that. So when you encounter somebody that's bigger than you, you should be trained on how to take them out. I received training on how to take out a bigger person than me, and I think that police, they probably know how to do this. I don't know why police, they've been, in my opinion, they've been attacking black people with a much higher use of lethal force than they have with other races. And for instance, I'm going to show you this video. Here you go.
Did you see the officer behind you?
No, not until I got on the parkway, and I just seen the lights coming up behind me. And then once they got right behind me, I started pulling over, and I realized they were pulling me over. You know.
Did you? I mean, they say you were eluding them.
I mean, I don't know how you. I don't know how you would be eluding when I left when they were behind me with the lights on. I pulled right over.
So you weren't trying to escape?
No, I wasn't trying to escape.
Get out the car! Question, why didn't you just get out of the car?
Because I was afraid.
Because?
There was a cop on my left with a gun pointed at me, and there was one on my right side with a shotgun pointed. And at that moment, I just knew, I even had my phone in my hand, and I dropped my phone and put my hands up. I said, put the guns away. I'm not going to step out the car.
Because?
Because I'm afraid that I might get shot.
If you got out.
Mm-hmm. And so as I'm sitting there, you see the other officer coming on the opposite side of the parkway, cuts across the divider, and as he cuts across the divider, he's coming head on to me. He literally cut the traffic. Traffic is going this way. He's coming through across the ongoing traffic. And as I'm sitting there, I'm just almost bracing for impact because I just knew he was coming at me at full speed, And he hits me, and as soon as he hits me, my head hit the steering column. And then he gets out the car and runs around the car. And next thing I know, as he's coming around the car, the glass gets busted, and all the glass goes in my face. And at that point, I got my hands up, and I'm just like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. And
your hands are up.
My hands are up. And the officer I wasn't sure which one it was because the glass was all in my face, but they were reaching in trying to open the door. So once they got the door open, as soon as they opened the door, one of the officers reached in and just punched me in my face. And then my hands were up, and as he hit me, my head goes down like this. And I'm like, you hit me. So as I'm there, he's like, get out. And once they try to pull me out, they realize my seatbelt was on. So he reaches in, and as he reaches in, he's reaching across my lap, and he's as he's trying to take the seatbelt off, he's elbowing me in my jaw. And I'm like, and he's like, stop trying to take my gun. Stop resisting arrest. Stop trying to take my gun. And as he's saying that, I just knew, and I was thinking in the back of my mind, like, okay, this is gonna go wrong. Let me scream make sure if there's any cameras, if anybody's around hearing, that I'm trying to let them know I'm not touching a gun. I'm not resisting arrest. My hands were up. So once they got me out of the car, they slammed me on the ground, and it was 3 officers, and they were holding me down and handcuffing me at the same time. As they were handcuffing, my hands were almost behind my back already, and he's still going, "Stop trying to resist arrest. Stop trying to resist arrest." And one of the officers is hitting me on the back of the head with a flashlight or baton or whatever it was. I feel about 3 or 4 times it would hit me, saying, "Shut up, stop trying to resist arrest." So once they got me handcuffed, they lifted me up off the ground. I had glass all in my face. I was bleeding. They slammed me on a police car, and as he did that, I said, "I did nothing wrong." I said, "I did nothing wrong." And they were checking my pockets, seeing if I had anything. They didn't find anything. So as they're like, "Shut up." They're just like, "Shut up, just shut up." I'm like, "I did nothing wrong." That's all I kept saying. I said, "I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong." So as they walked me, now I'm handcuffed already. They're walking me back to the car to put me in the back of the police car. And right before when they open the door about to put me in, the officer hits me in the back of the head again.
With a flashlight?
With a flashlight.
Did you refuse medical
attention? I did not refuse medical attention.
So they made that up?
They made that up. It's because of them lying that I would have had to do 5 years in jail.
If the tape hadn't surfaced?
I was going to be doing jail. I was going to be doing time.
Now, in this video, there was a black male in a car. He had his hands up, like this, in the car. The police officers decided that this meant, "I'm going to attack you," or "he's a deadly, dangerous person." And they decided to drag this man out of the car, even though he's had his hands up, and he was afraid for his life. That's why he wouldn't get out of the car, as you saw in the clip. And they had him on the ground. He's like, "I'm not doing anything. I'm not resisting." They're like, "Stop resisting arrest. Stop resisting arrest." And they're doing this so that they could have something to book him on. They were about to send this innocent man to jail for 5 years. For 5 years. 5 years of this man's life was about to be spent in prison because the police did not like him for some reason. That is fucking ridiculous. How can someone have that much power that they can trump up false charges on you and send you to prison for 5 years of your life and ruin your record? And then people wonder why there are a lot of black angry young men out there who hate the cops. I've experienced this. I know multiple people who have experienced this, and people say that we deserve it. But how can you say that when I know tons of innocent people who are doing nothing at all, and the cops brought up charges on them that were false? Because they know they can, because they know that no one will believe us. But you blame us for saying something about it. You blame us for trying to stand up for ourselves and saying that these cops are fighting against us. Well, they are. And if you don't believe us, then look at what's happening. And this is why I believe that cops need to have cameras on them at all times. And if they turn off that camera, they are fired instantly. There is no justification for turning off the camera. In fact, why not have it so they cannot be turned off until they get to the police station? And it has to be turned off by someone at the police station. But cops need cameras. Cops need cameras on their bodies. Every single one in America. They are not trustworthy. Cops are not trustworthy. They are not. I believe every single public official has no rights to privacy, pretty much. If they're in their office and they're working, they have no rights to privacy because they are working for the people. They should be recorded because our lives are in their hands. Our lives, the American people's lives, are in their hands. And they should be held to the highest of standards. When they're off duty, they can do what they please. We don't need to know what they're doing. That's their business. But while they're on duty, while they're wearing a uniform, while they're conducting while they're conducting business in the name of the American people, they should be recorded at all times. And this video proves why. Because if that vehicle that drove up did not have a camera in it, no one would have known. That man would have been in jail for 5 years. And he was innocent. That is disgusting. America, you need to do better. because you're sending people to jail like him, innocent men to jail like him, and this is different from the people that were convicted of the murders and stuff like that. This is different. I think that's deplorable too. That's disgusting. That's disgusting that people been sent to jail and they didn't even kill anyone. And someone just says, okay, this person did it because the cops did that. And that's another point. The cops are, it's disgusting. But for something like this, there was no way to prove that. If that camera was not there, there was no way to prove that what that man said was actually what happened, and that he was actually innocent. And that's the bad part about it. Because there's so many times where there were no cameras present and people were sent to jail. Cops need cameras, and they need them now.